You're listening to the ArtiFlex cast. Our company vision is to be innovative, problem-solving, partners that lead the markets for on-time, high-quality, innovative tooling, automation, and manufacturing for body-in-white solutions. And our company mission is to achieve high performance as measured by KPIs for safety, growth, profitability, and employee well-being. Now with your host, Christopher Byron.
Welcome to a special edition of the ArtiFlex cast. I'm your host, Christopher Byron. Joining me as always is my co-host, Frankie Depew. And in the studio with us today is two very special people. And they're joining us for this special edition of the ArtiFlex cast to promote our upcoming charity car show. And first with us is the executive director of Habitat for Humanity in Wayne County, Beth Weaver. Thank you for joining us.
Hi, Christopher, Frankie. Thanks for having us today. We're excited about this. We're gearing up for an exciting day.
It's a great time to have you back. We're excited to have you again. And joining you today is one of the partner family members that's receiving the new house that you guys are in the process of building, Linda Johnson. Linda,
Yes.
how are you?
Glad to be here. Yes, I'm Linda Johnson, and I'm one of the family partner receiving a house. I have been widowed for 8 years. I have one adult son. Really looking forward to moving in this house. I've been in the current place for 23 years. So this is a blessing from God for me.
Absolutely. That's wonderful. We're happy to have both of you guys here. It's going to be great to kind of discuss the upcoming show, your guys' involvement with this new house project you have going on. So I think without further ado, let's just jump into the episode.
So last year we partnered with Habitat as well, and we raised about $5,000, which was amazing considering our circumstances. I mean,
It's a little rainy day, kind
Right?
of, but I thought it was still very successful. And it's great to be there.
It didn't rain on our parade.
No.
Right. So, Beth, can you just kind of give us a recap of Habitat's involvement in last year's show and what that money kind of went towards for you guys?
Sure. So Habitat for Humanity, obviously you think of houses going up, but Habitat is actually, we're not only a builder, but we're a bank. When the houses are complete, we have families in line that are going to get those houses. But when we say get the houses, we fight the myth of them getting it for free. Mm-hmm. We actually hold a mortgage. Habitat writes a mortgage for the families, and they pay on the mortgage. So that's what happened. We were building on Bowman Street at the time, and we have the family in the house. A really beautiful house. It's very visible. If you go down Bowman Street, it's really easy to see. And so a lot of those funds went to that project. We were doing two at the same time, but we were right in the middle of Bowman Street. And then the funds, they go back to the community. So the partner families are making a mortgage payment. We currently have 41 mortgages on the books. So every month we get a mortgage payment. It's kind of a recycle program. That's going back into our program. And we don't charge interest. So that's the nonprofit part of it. But yeah, definitely. I think it's great for the community, what you guys are doing. And we feel like we're doing our part for the community. But when people like you come in, your company comes in, and you guys build cars, we build garages, right? So that's a good partnership.
I see that. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And it was really nice because Frankie and I actually attended the key ceremony. Can't remember.
Dedication.
Yes. And it was a very beautiful ceremony to be a part of. And it was just a very touching and moving thing to hear how thankful the partner family was to be receiving it, after the hours of dedication and time spent with that. I'm sure they were very relieved to finally be able to move in, and having those keys and that sense of home and that sense of safety that come with that is a very powerful feeling. Right. And so one that, Linda, I hope you actually get to experience sometime soon.
Yes, sooner than I expected. I'm currently living in a 2-story home, and I've been there, of course, 23 years. 23 years accumulation of stuff to get rid of. And my house is being built faster than I'm moving.
And so that means she's been renting a house for 23 years.
Yeah.
And now she's going to be making a mortgage payment for something that she can build on. And one of the things we're really proud of is we like our families to be able to age in place.
Yes.
It's a big thing now. And, having very few steps and being able to get into your house very easily. So we're excited for Linda.
Absolutely. Yeah. You can kind of age with dignity. You can have the access to mobility and be able to take care of yourself as long as possible. Yes. That's a great way to have a sense of pride in where you live.
Yes, it is.
Moving on to this year's show, What can you tell us about the funds, about this year's show, and what are we going to help you guys with this year?
Yeah, so right now we're very much in the middle of Linda's build, and we're also starting a house on Madison Hill. Our
Okay.
board of directors is very determined to increase our house production. We have a long waiting list of people calling in every month, trying to get that application. We have a protocol where we have the families just keep calling us once a month till we can get that application to you. Our determination is to make it grow from what we're doing currently, about 2 houses a year. We really want to do 3 this year. So you guys are helping us to get to that point, making sure that, again, we buy the materials to get those houses built. So
We actually had our interns come out and assist with part of the build.
Yes.
that's right. Yes,
Yes.
that's right. It was very exciting. They were, oh my gosh, I was impressed with their work ethic. Seriously. Like, man, you guys are blowing this away. Every task we give them, it's okay, we're done with that. It's like,
We had
that's
some
right.
very impressive interns.
It was great to have them there.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's great to hear. So can you tell us, Linda, a little about your involvement with Habitat and kind of the process you've gone through and how long you've been a part of it, and just kind of walk people through?
Yes, the starting process is you turn in an application and then you make the once a month phone calls. Now, for me, I called in once a month and I was so excited about it. There was a couple of times I called in twice a month and forgot I had already called in. But after that process, and you call in, then your name, of course, gets in the system, and then it's a waiting process. The waiting process takes a lot of patience. During my process, it was during COVID. So they were backed up maybe a couple of years during that time. But 6 years later, they're building my house. So I encourage people to, don't give up. I also had a kidney transplant in '08, and that was a long process too. So I figured if I could wait 11 years to receive a kidney, 6 years is nothing. It's a beautiful house.
That's awesome.
A cool thing about what Linda did is she called in every month. She developed a strong friendship with one of the ladies that volunteers in our office, and they got to be such good friends. And it was a cool part of seeing that, building relationships. And
Most definitely.
yeah, and so if Joanne didn't answer the phone, she'd be asking, "Where's Joanne?" So that was a cool part to see.
And that's something that we saw on full display during that dedication ceremony when they did the mortgage burning, and all of the other homeowners kind of came around, and it's an active support group for homeownership.
Right.
Just
Yes.
if you need help with, getting something fixed or whatever, you
Right.
have a support group there that can either show you how to do it yourself or, kind of help, get those things fixed
Right.
on your behalf.
That is the advantage of us. We don't move in lightning speed.
Yeah.
It does, as Linda indicated, it's years. But that's one of the benefits. If you talk about poverty and coming out of poverty, one of the things is having a network around you. And those of us that have strong families, it's not as big a deal. But if you don't have that, so we feel like we taking the time and building those networks is really important.
Most definitely.
That's awesome. That's a really great service that you provide on the emotional support side of things, as well as outside of, the house part, which is the big part.
Right.
But a lot of those intangible, intrinsic relationships and support groups and stuff like that is
It's not as easy to see, but it's happening. during the
yes.
process.
It's not necessarily something quantifiable you can put down on paper, but it's invaluable in some cases for a lot of people.
For sure.
Let's kind of discuss what we have going on for the car show this year. We've made some great changes to it. We've made some improvements, as we always try and do each year. It's very important for Frankie and I, after the show is done, we kind of sit down and bang our heads against the wall and say, okay, this worked really well. This didn't. We should do this better. We should change this. And our goal is to make the car show the best car show in Wayne County, if not all of Ohio at someday. That's my aspiration.
There you go.
anyways.
Good.
Right on.
Goal.
I'm gonna do that or die trying.
Yeah,
I'll
there
tell
we
you.
go. Good.
So Frankie, can you kind of talk about what are some of the things that we're doing in addition this year to improve the show, make it more family friendly, and so on?
Yeah, sure. So we all have our awesome plant tours like we always do. We have a food truck that we always have. So all of the normal stuff can be expected. But this year we added on a kids corner. This is kind of just to make it a more public event. Say you're not bringing a car, still bring your family out, and there's plenty for your kids to do. We have 4 bounce houses that are really, really cool. We think all the kids are really going to enjoy. There's actually a trackless train that's going to go through the plant as well as our golf carts. So it'll allow kids to get the plant tours and kind of have a more kid-friendly tour in a way. There's going to be an ice cream truck, a character artist, face painter, and balloon artist. So it should be a really fun event. And I think there's quite a few additions. So if no one's ever been out before, come check it out. Bring your kids. I mean, even if you don't have kids, there's plenty of things to do and things to see in our plants.
And I have to be honest, one of the more exciting things for me is your T-shirts. You always have a different kind of design, and everybody's like, what is it this year?
Yes. This year's no different.
Yeah, okay. So
Frankie did a very good job designing the shirt this year. It's going to be a heathered black, so it's going to look a little charcoal-y. But we think, and I say this every year, I swear, we think this is going to be the best one.
So, definitely.
So it's, I think it's going to be a great show as usual. And this year, we're also for the first time encouraging folks with motorcycles to come by, imports and tuners to come by, pretty much anything with an engine that burns gasoline and has wheels is welcome.
EVs are welcome too, though, so they don't have to burn gasoline.
That's true. That's true. If you don't burn gasoline,
wave of the future.
You can come for that as well.
Yeah.
So it's going to be a judge show once again, like normal. ArtiFlex matches all the donations, all the funds, everything raised as the show goes on. We match those and donate those to Habitat. So more and more each year, we have been getting folks that come up and just give us on the spot donations.
Cool.
Yeah, it means a lot to us because it's very important for us to try and keep the money that we raise in Wayne County as much as possible. The money that we spend, we try and spend it in Wayne County as much as possible to put the show on. But I think it resonates with people that they see how much of a responsibility that we take with this and say, we want it to go back to local people, local families. And so we've been getting a lot of people that just come up and say, here's $100, here's $200. Can you make sure you get this into the pot to be matched so that way it can go to the cause and stuff? And that's really moving.
Very nice.
It's a great time. So
I just interject for a second.
Sure.
You got some visible changes going on in Worcester, and I get some of my family going, "What's going on at ArtiFlex?" So
yeah,
I think this would be a good time for people to come down and just check out what's going on and do the plant tour, but then listen to what you guys' vision is for the company.
Absolutely, and that's kind of the other thing that we always say. Every year you can expect a really great T-shirt, and you can also expect something to be changing at ArtiFlex. Because each year, even starting back in 2019, there's always been something better or improved on or different at our facility that makes these plant tours so great. And I wish I could say we do all of that just for the sake of the car show, but it just kind of happens on its own, right?
Car show be a little more popular, and people that are nosy like me like to come on. What's going on over here?
Absolutely.
Right.
Well, because on the outside, you just see these big white buildings and you don't really see the cool lasers and robots and stuff that's going on the inside. There's so much stuff that we're doing to make this an awesome show and an awesome event. So
I'm bringing my grandkids. There's no.
Oh yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. The cars are for the adults. The kids corners for the kids. You come by, you drop your kids off there, walk around the show and get something to eat. It'll be a great time.
Right.
Well, unless I'm forgetting anything, Frankie, do you have anything you'd like to add?
No, I don't think so. Just I hope everyone can join us. It's I don't know if we mentioned it. It's Sunday, September 17th.
That's an important point. Yep.
Yeah.
That's a good point to
right
make.
Here
Leave
at
it to Frank to throw in the important part.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I thank you guys for coming.
We appreciate it.
Us.
Every year we look forward. We're glad that you guys, I know you don't have to choose us to be your partners, but we're so grateful when we see that invitation.
Yeah.
So just thank you for thinking of us.
Yeah. It's hard when you make it so easy to work with.
Okay.
It's make it harder next year. Maybe we can have some other conversations. Cool. Well, thank you, Beth, for being here. Thank you, Linda, for being here. It's been a treat to have you guys. Yeah. Everybody come out to the show and it's going to be a great time.
Fun day.
Yep. Yes.
So we'll talk to you guys later. Thanks.
Right. Thanks.
Thanks for listening to the ArtiFlex cast. Engage with us on Access ArtiFlex and the Ready app, and tune in next time.